Las Vegas, Nevada.
What's going on, you guys? Yeah, everyone grab their pink comforter. I got the worst haircut ever. This is my haircut. Look at that.
Oh, and then you said Pat Dixon does have a past.
He's Ray DeVito. His chin is kinda neato. He's Ray DeVito. He is a Guido. He's not a pedo. His name is Ray DeVito. Problems with his feedo. He's kind of retardito. Is Ray DeVito. His chin is pretty neato. That Ray DeVito. Your information he'll repeat-o. That stinky Guido. That's Ray DeVito. Rock Bottom podcast starts now.
What's up? What's going on, you punks? Welcome. We're starting on time. Rock Bottom Podcast. I'm Ray DeVito. I got my guest, a good buddy of mine, very funny comedian, Mr. Nick Simmons. How are you, Nick?
Doing good. That was actually a very catchy intro. I was getting into that.
It is catchy.
That is catchy.
Yeah. And I messed up. I accidentally played the promo for Vegas. I don't know why that's still on my computer. I guess I can delete it since it's in the past. But yeah, so yeah. I messed up. And also shout out to my sponsors, SilkCityHotSauce.com. Check out Pain in the Brain, put in Rock B, save 15% on all the hot sauces out there. Yeah, welcome, Nick. This is people are very nice here.
Yeah, when I was into the theme song, did you actually grow up like Guido?
Yes, I'm Italian. You didn't think I'm Italian, Nick? Come on, man. DeVito?
Italian, but did you do like the Guido, Jersey Shore, like
Ohio, haircut? Dude?
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I grew up in Cleveland. No, I wear what do you like? I'll wear like a gold chain. I haven't worn my gold chain in a while, but yeah, I wear like gold chains. I wear my Air Jordans. I'm a Guido, dude. I'm not.
There you go. Yeah, I grew up going to the shore, so that was my life, the Jersey Shore days.
Oh, is it really as Italian as the show tries to claim it to be?
Like Italian American, so fake Italian, but yeah, it was hardcore. Like we all rocking the chains, getting tan, getting screwed up at the shore. That was like what you did from high school up until some people are still doing it, which is sad, but I can't do that life anymore. I can't party like that anymore.
So So you were really into like club, like I was never into like club music. I like rap music. I like Primus. I'm going to see Bruce Springsteen on Thursday, but it's eclectic. I'm all over the place. I like rap music a lot, but I never liked like the club, like boom, boom, just the night at the Rocks. No, I never got fucking house music.
See, growing up,
I want to hear some lyrics, dude. I want to hear some fucking lyrics. And that's what I want to hear. I'll listen to Frankie Valli all day. I can listen to Frankie Valli's the greatest, but I need to hear some lyrics. I need a song to tell a story. I don't need to hear just.
I guess when you're on Molly, it's a different story. When you're on Molly, you don't really need lyrics, you know. And back then, that was what we did. You would pop a Molly and listen to music and try not to die, you know.
Yeah, I never got into Molly. I'll just drink beer. And I'll like smoke weed. That's about it. Molly. What a drinker. No, what's what is Molly like for you? What's it?
It's for some reason it makes you. I don't know what it's. The side effect is you do want to listen to house music for some weird reason. Like now that I don't drink or really do drugs at all anymore. So now I have no reasons. Like now I listen to it and it makes me like cringe and makes my heart beat fast. But back in the day, it would like you would just be in like a perfect mood. Like you could not be upset. Like it's just like you're just in the happiest mood. You want to talk to people, listen to house music. I guess it doesn't sound that appealing if you haven't tried it. I'm looking at your face,
it sounds like shit. And we're going to get into this. You were just engaged up until a few days ago and all that. I want to get into that. Yeah, you got a hell of a story. But those of you that don't know Nick Simmons, check him out. He's going to be at Poughkeepsie on A24. Follow him on social media at not Nick Simmons on Instagram. And all right, so you could see. I don't like having comedians like watch their jokes, but I'm just doing this to let people know that if you're a white comic, you could make jokes about anything. There better be a fucking payoff. That's all I'm saying. So there's Nick Simmons, one of his jokes. I'm gonna wait till the beginning. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on silent till it clicks.
About race, and it's out of love, right? Like my best friend in the world is a black comedian, and we talk with each other all the time. We try and go as hard as possible at each other. Like the other day, he tried to get me. This way, he was like, he goes, "White people steal everything. You guys never come up with anything catchy on your own." And I'm like, "I get it, rock and roll." And he goes, "Nah, I bet you can name one thing that white people came up with that's catchy that black people like." And I was like, "I don't know, man. The N-word's pretty catchy." If you have friends of other races, you could.
There you go. I just want to. So yes, white comedians, you can't do jokes about the N-word. Just make sure there's a fucking payoff. All right, you can make jokes about anything.
About that joke in particular.
What's up?
I put that joke out for the first time about a year and a half ago, and then Ricky Gervais on his newest special, a year after it already went viral twice, posted a very similar joke. That's why if you see in the comments, someone says Ricky Gervais does a joke like this, and then I show the timestamp of his when he did it, and when I did it. And my joke was way before his. So that's, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not saying I would never say he would steal from it. He has no idea who I am. But it's the exact same. It's like he has the same payoff at the end of his joke.
Really? So this coming from Ricky Gervais. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? If you're Ricky Gervais and that's brought to your attention, acknowledge it. Give you some credit. Because
multiple times people have tagged him, like tag the original joke writer, which tagging me, like tag Nick Simmons, and he's too big to even see something like that. So
wow,
but I don't think he would purposely do that. Because I respect his comedy, so I'm not accusing. Maybe I don't know what could have happened, but I like to make people know that went viral on my page a year before he came out.
Yeah, I've had that too. Like I did on an album 2 albums ago. This is 2015 or 2000, whatever. When Steven Seagal's was at his height with Steven Seagal Lawman. So I did joke about Steven Seagal Lawman, just making fun of Steven Seagal, how it's just him going around arresting petty criminals in Louisiana. And essentially the joke is every petty criminal in Louisiana is just a huge Steven Seagal fan. So they don't even give a shit that they're getting arrested. They're just really excited that they get to meet their hero. And it just goes off on that, on that angle. And then Tom Segura, like a year ago, and his special did a whole chunk of Steven Seagal. And then people are like, why are you taking Tom? I was like, mine is fucking 4 years before that, dude. Mine's 4 years before that. Get the fuck out of here. Mine. Yeah.
People like, oh, well, this big comic did it. So and I'm like, nah, that's my fucking joke.
Yeah. It's like, no, go check it out. Mine was when Steven Seagal Lawman was an actual show, when it was still on television. So it's like, come on, dude. That's my, that's my, like, give me some props. Be smart about it.
Exactly.
All right. So now we want to do this. So you just moved back. Simmons, very funny comedian, works at the Comedy Cellar all the time, was living in Miami. You weren't engaged up how long ago?
4 days ago. 4 days ago.
4 days ago. Yeah. So 4 days, you moved back. He's the origin of my podcast. This used to be the G-Hole, me and Bob Biggerstaff. Then Bob moved to Houston. I moved to Cleveland. So I just did it myself. If you look at the thing, Rock Bottom Podcast, it was me podcasting from my sister's basement. So that's my childhood bedroom. That's what it was. Right, yeah, so I have that's my Michael Jordan New Edition poster. It's a TIE Fighter comic book. So you are actually moved back in to your childhood bedroom somewhere in New York City. Yeah, you lost your virginity at home?
In a bunk bed. In a bunk bed. Yeah, I had the bottom bunk, my brother the top bunk. He wasn't home, but
were your parents home?
No, I mean, no, they weren't home. Because I was 15 turning 16, and I think my dad was at work because my dad was a CEO at Rikers, and my mom was at work, so I felt like it was like the perfect time to get it done.
To get it, damn. And you brought it to your house, like you knew it was like safe to do.
to my bunk bed. Yep, which is an embarrassing place to bring girls. Which I brought
Dude, you're
girls there for a
15.
while.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Do you
but
still have a
you know,
bunk bed? That'd be awesome if you
no, it's
still had a
gone.
bunk bed.
I wish I was still sleeping in the bunk bed. Nope. My whole room is gone. My room is now my dad's. If anything goes wrong in civilization, he has food for periods of time, military food. It's very weird my room's gone.
So let's get back to this. So why did you move back? I know the story. I want you. So I met your girlfriend. You were engaged. Very lovely
We were
lady.
together 6 years.
6 years with this lady.
Yeah, I met her at actually the Grizzly Pear. She was in the crowd at one of the shows, and we hit it off. We moved in together in like the first like 2 months, and I mean we've had
2 months. So this is 6 years ago. 2 months, and
yeah,
you're already an item.
and it was like everything was going good, but we moved from here to Los Angeles, and we were there during the pandemic, so it was hard to actually get work. So it built up debt and stuff like that, which that kind of stuff actually affects a relationship because we never had fights up until that point. And
Oh,
then we moved from. She got sent to Miami for work, and
she's a
then we
flight
had to move
attendant,
again.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she got sent there. So then we had to, put more in. So even though my comedy career is starting to actually go well, I'm selling out dates on the road. It felt like this, you know, circle of just like paying and like staying afloat. And she started getting anxiety. And then she saw me being freaked out because I'm like, if I'm not in New York City being able to perform all the time, because in Florida, it's a cool state. Like they're growing as a comedy community, but it's still not there yet. And there's nothing to do during the week for stage time. So like I was going crazy because I'm like, I can't work as much as I want to work. I can't do things like I would just fly back and forth from the cellar back to Miami, which was just driving me crazy. Then I would do the road on the weekends, but during the week, I'm like, I felt like useless. So I started getting depressed, a little cold towards her, and it got to a point where we both got in a place where she was like, you know what, I think right, like what we need is to at least do like a pause where, you get your life on track. Because this stress, if we stay together, it's going to grow into a point where we just like resent each other. So
And when was this? When was this date that you guys had this talk? How long ago?
6 days ago.
6 days ago. So this literally, as of a week ago, you thought, all right, I'm going to fly to New York and I'm coming back to Miami. You literally thought you were going to just come here. So you came here originally just like, I'm going to go to New York, do some shows, and I'm going to go back to Miami and see the love of my life.
On Thursday. Yeah, I was supposed to go to the cellar on Thursday. So I was like, all right, I'm leaving in a day or two. So, everything seemed good. And then that's when she broke it to me, where she's like, you're not happy here, and it's affecting the relationship. I'm not happy with, where we're at. So she wants to go back home to where she's from in Brazil for a little bit, be with her family and stuff like that, get her head on right. And she knows that I need to be here. And it sucks because, we still love each other like crazy. But at the same time, if we would have stayed in that situation, we would have definitely resented each other at some point. Because it's like, you can have love and shit, but if you're not where you need to be career-wise and financial-wise, that shit is not going to work. You know what I mean? So we were like, you know what? Let's do no contact for a while, and we'll see where we are in time. But, I don't want to be rushing into something if I'm not ready for it career-wise, So
So
it's like a weird situation.
So it's like an hiatus. Now, let's be honest. If you were, like, I don't know where you're at, but let's say you're tonight at the Cellars. It's a Thursday night. Let's say you're at the Cellar this weekend, and let's say you meet a lady and she wants to hang out with you. Is that something you'd consider, or no, your head's not there?
No, I know it's going to sound pathetic, but like I would still feel like I was cheating. You know what I mean? Like it would just feel wrong. So like, even though we're not talking to each other, like I still, I don't know. It's 6 years of my life to be in a place where, that's my girl, that's my best friend. So it's like the thought of dating anybody, and even if I did get to that, even if it ever got to that point, like we decided we're not going to work this out, like the thought, I don't know. Now I'm in my 30s. The thought of sitting across the table on a date with someone and pretending I give a shit about what they have to say sounds so excruciating, where I'm like, I do not want, that sounds horrible right now. Like the idea, because like after show, it's already, since I've been back after shows, girls have come up to me and stuff like that. But I'm just like, nope, I got to get out of here. getting the fuck out of here. Can't do that.
What if they gave you Molly? Would that
well,
change
if they
things?
put it in my drink, then I mean,
If Molly's involved, does that change things?
I think I would just go into a place of sadness and just start crying to them.
Oh, really? Okay, so
Yeah, I'd probably
you're
cry deeply in their arms.
dude. That's So you're like just on a high. This is brand new to you. So I know you're looking for a place in New York City.
Yeah,
Like that's where you're at now.
That's been the stressful part because now that I'm back, I'm at my dad's house doing like. Here's the thing: anybody who's ever moved back into their parents' house has probably dealt with this, where you start having to do chores like you're a fucking child again. Like you're, and I'm like, oh, I'm 34 years old. I'm not doing the lawn anymore. Like that is not. I can't do this. You know, I need to find a place ASAP. I need to get out of here. You know, I love my family, but to live with them, you're just like, okay, I'm not a child anymore.
Who's all there? Is it just you and your dad, or you got other family?
Just me and my dad right now. My brother's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my brother's very successful. So he is in Germany right now. He's on tour with Coldplay. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he works with Coldplay. So
that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
did you ever get to see Coldplay with your lady?
No, that was on our
what?
That was on our thing to do. We were supposed to go to Brazil where her family is and go see them live in Brazil, but you know, I don't think that's happening right now. You know?
Yeah, no, I love Coldplay. I love the music, but the videos are weird. I get it. The lead singer's a good-looking dude, but every video of them is just a close-up of his face to show how good-looking he is. I'm like, I don't fucking need to see this, dude. I like the songs, but the videos make me fucking hate I fucking hate the band, but I like the songs, if that makes sense.
It does. Actually,
it's like you're so fucking full of yourself, Coldplay. We get it. You're a fucking good-looking dude. Who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. I'm a dude that wants to buy the album. I don't need to see your fucking face.
And he was actually in the crowd at my show in at Zany's in Nashville. And,
Chris Martin?
And it took everything in my body because I told my brother, I'm like, yo, he's in the crowd. I'm like, I'm gonna crowd work him. And he's like, I will fucking kill you if you don't do it. Don't do it. And like you're at that moment where someone tells you don't say anything on stage and you have to like hold everything in. It took fucking everything in my body to not say something. Because I was like,
what were you gonna say? All right, what's some of the crowd work you're gonna do?
Well, I was gonna just fish and try and get him to talk about my brother because I know that my brother definitely has a. And I was gonna when I do crowd work, I don't ever have a game plan, which is weird. But I like to just see where it goes. Like I don't. Some comedians they have like pre-planned shit. But
it is one of those things where you don't really have to have a plan because you've been doing it long enough where you got jokes to fall back into. So like, I don't mind going into the crowd knowing I got an act to fall back on. So it is going in without a net, but at the same time, I do have a net. Like same thing, you have a net. I got jokes to fall back.
Exactly. So. And even if I need to get out of it, I have a joke that I could just bounce out of it. Always. I always have like a parachute where I'm like, all right, this is going nowhere. Boom. I'm out of it, you know.
Yeah,
but he just left yesterday to go to Germany with them.
Did you talk to Chris Martin after the show about?
No, but I met. You know, it's crazy. I know fucking nothing about country music at all, and I know that's like the country music area. But that's one area of music where I know fucking nothing.
I know nothing.
Apparently, a huge country music star woman came up to us after the show and was saying we were doing great. We had a great show. And I had no idea what the fuck.
Oh, who are you with? You is this with Brian Callen? Because Nick tours with Brian Callen.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I featured.
And how's he doing with the whole? Okay, how'd you guys meet? You and Brian Callen? Yeah. How'd you guys meet? By the way,
when I was out in LA during the pandemic, there was like no shows to do, and one of my buddies booked me on a show, and he was actually the headliner, so he put me up right before him, and I had. You know, in LA, it's easier to stand out doing comedy because, you know, we're New York comics. We do, you know, jokes. And so I was having a...
some watching this would say I do not do jokes. Some here are hard critics, I will say. They judge me harshly around here in these parts.
Do they fuck with you? Yeah.
Yes, they fuck with me. That's all they do is fuck with me.
But yeah, I was having one of those like 10 out of 10 sets right before his set, and he talked to my buddy. He goes, "Who the fuck is that?" And he's like, "My buddy's like, oh, it's Nick Simmons." He's like, "Is he a headliner?" And he's like, "He headlines, but you know, he's you know still working."
But no, I'm in the same thing. Well, I'll headline, and then it'll get canceled because I don't sell any fucking tickets. So yeah,
exactly. That's where I was at then. So he was
I'm like, in there, do we sell tickets?
So he's like, "I'm gonna ask him to come on the road."
Fuck yeah.
it worked out perfect because my ex, I was about to say my girl, my ex was there, and she's because I fly for free. He was like, "Yo, would you want to come feature for me on the road?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I don't pay for flights, so that would be." And he was like, "Yo, done. When
Fuck
can you fucking
yeah,
start?"
dude.
hmm So
Fuck
it's just one of
yeah.
those perfect timing situations, which changed everything for me because I was able to actually perform in front of his crowd, make all those videos at the beginning. For those tapes came out so much better when I was making clips because if I would have done it with my 4 people in the audience that I was able to sell tickets for, those would have been very sad clips.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference. Also, how did it, because I don't know his whole story. I know, like, I don't know the story, like, of someone saying stuff about him online, which, like, kind of knocked him down for a bit.
Yeah,
Now it seems like he's fine. Okay.
He had allegations against him, and before we even started, I was like, I need to, like, know what's up before, because if I'm going to be attaching myself and my name to
Right.
you, I want to know that you did the. And he showed me the receipts. He showed me everything. He's like this. He's like, this is a, like, he told me straight up, this is a person who had something against me, and it's a long story. Like, he's
Right. Yeah. You
definitely
don't
known the
got
person.
to go into the details of it or whatever.
But
I just,
yeah, I wanted
it
to
looks
make
like he
sure before.
bounced back. Yeah. It looks like he
Yeah.
bounced back from that. That's the other thing too. Like, I mean, it's just a fucking, just a sick
It definitely
world
helped.
as far.
Because he's 57, so he doesn't know shit about social media. So it
Right.
definitely helped him that I was with him and I was telling him, okay, this is how you have to post on social media. He didn't know how to post like an Instagram story, so I had to like help him with that. So that his social media blowing up. Now he's like 1 million plus followers from like just actually listening to me and posting shit all the time. So now he's like selling out everywhere again. So he's been doing fucking great.
Hell yeah, dude. Fucking awesome for him. I never met him again because he's an LA guy, so I never saw him in New York City. I never like met the dude, but I've seen his act and I do like his jokes. He seems like he's a really good comic from what I've seen.
Oh, he's genuinely a good dude too.
Jimmy Ice says, Ray, one day you'll have 3 doors like Nick. Dream. Yes. He's got
like
3 doors. Yeah.
Sliding door to the bathroom. My very fancy sliding door. Yeah, that was a selling point on this house for me. When I was a kid, I was like, yo, I could just walk right into the bathroom. That's how poor I grew up. So that's what made me love my place. I'm like, oh, we have a door? Because going from shit place in the Bronx to that, I was like, yo, here we go.
Fuck yeah, man. My everyone thinks my parents bought me or built me a little shack so I could jerk off in when I was a kid. That is not true. It's not what it was. It was just coincidence. But yes, Jimmy, one day I will get 3 doors too, and we'll be doing fantastic. Tigger 74. Nick, are you more of a trend, Deca, or TRT?
Can I
I have no idea what any of that means. What's a trend, Deca, or TRT?
Tren is the world's strongest steroid. That is the only steroid that gives you like what's it called? Roid rage. So it's the only one because it's the only one that's not made for humans. It's actually made for cattle to make them as giant. Like, you ever seen those like super jacked fucking like cows? That's why they look like that. It's not made for humans at all. It's not. But people take it because it makes you feel like a god, but it also makes you a fucking psychopath. That being said, I did take it one time back in the day, and it was.
Oh, you did? Nightmare. So you did do steroids?
Oh yeah, I've taken all 3.
For real? I didn't know. Let's talk about steroids, man. What are you, the Jose Canseco of comedy? Are you gonna have a book?
I'm taking TRT right now. I'm on TRT. Dude, well, that's from my doctor because
I'm on a steroid right now too. I'm on steroids because my knee, because I had the. Yeah, because I had inflammation in my knee. I don't know if it was a gout attack, arthritis attack, or if I sprained an MCL. But yeah, they give me a cortisone shot and put me on steroid. It's the pills where you take 6 day 1, then you take 4 day 2,
those
then
aren't
3.
Anabolic. Yeah.
Oh, they're not anabolics?
No. You're not gonna get fucking jacked off cortisone. I wish, because I have a bunch of cortisone.
I got a cortisone shot. No, I got a cortisone shot, and then I took steroids. So tell me about steroids, man. What made you get into them? Was this last week?
No, I've been doing it. So even before I started doing comedy, I don't know if you remember when I first started, I was like 10 times the size I am right now.
No, he's fucking jacked, by the way. Yeah, Nick is fucking.
I weigh 198 right now, but when I started comedy, I was like 235, 240 solid. And that was because I was actually just bodybuilding and taking gear. Just because every Guido in New York and New Jersey is on steroids.
I'm a Guido, and I didn't.
I guess it wasn't in Ohio. I guess
Yeah, it didn't get to Ohio. But did you play sports? Like I
Yeah.
played basketball, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I wrestled
So like
when I
you'd
was,
see
like,
dudes.
8 years old.
Yeah, but no offense. Like you see someone like you, like all jacked up, like playing defense, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go right by him because I can move
I was
left and
quick.
right quicker. Okay.
I
But
played
I'm saying most
linebacker
people
for
that
high
are
school.
like just big are not going to be
Mhm.
like hand-eye quick.
No.
It's like easier to like
Yeah,
now
they're
they
usually
could
just lunks.
yeah. So I actually was all right with that, but I would take kratom or not well, I take kratom, I would do that occasionally now, but
Isn't that heroin?
no, it's like it makes your joints not hurt. I haven't taken it in a while because I haven't been lifting. Not kratom. What did I take when what was the stuff you would take? The drink? Not kratom. What the fuck was it called?
I think kratom's like herbal heroin.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not talking about kratom. It would hurt
Protein?
it would hurt my kidneys because I would run and I would dehydrate.
Creatine.
Creatine. That's what I would take. I would take creatine. But it would
I take
work.
creatine.
Like I was
Mhm.
stronger taking creatine. I was stronger. But what would happen is I was playing 8 hours of basketball and then I'd be so dehydrated, my lower back would hurt. My kidneys would hurt. Like
You weren't
I
drinking
ended
enough
up,
water.
yeah, I would end up going to the doctors. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to fuck up your kidneys.
Yeah, you got to be drinking a lot of water with that because it literally is taking water and putting it inside the muscle cells. So if you're not drinking water, it's just going to be draining. Like your kidneys are probably your kidneys are probably screaming at you because you weren't drinking enough water.
Yeah, no, it would hurt. Like my whole lower back would hurt. And I'm like, goes out of muscles. Like, no, those are your kidneys saying fucking stop it. So
Yeah.
So that's Tren, Deca, or TRT?
I've taken Deca once. It was awesome because it actually lubes your. That's what, like, remember, like, I'm trying to think, 98 Yankees. I don't know if you're a Yankees fan at all, but like,
no, fuck that. Cleveland Indians, dude.
well, I'm sure they took
First
it too.
place Guardian.
Back in like 98, pitchers were in like the later innings were throwing harder than they were in the early innings, like because they were.
Yeah, everybody was on steroids. Yeah.
So Deca was what the pitchers
I
were
was
taking
just a
'cause it lubed
fan
your
in the
joints.
game, and they would give me steroids. That's how prevalent they were. I sold hot dogs at the stadium, and they make me take steroids to sell hot dogs.
Let me ask you a question, and this is my opinion. This is what I think. I think baseball has never been as interesting as it was during the steroid era. I think they need to bring it back. There's no reason for them to be not allowed to take it. To me, that's crazy. It's not a contact sport where they're going to hurt somebody. I feel like if they should be able to be as not natty as they want to.
Oh, I agree. I don't mind. I enjoy it. Obviously, I loved baseball during the steroids era.
Best era of baseball. You know what I mean? Like watching Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire just fucking cranking out. That was the best. They should be on juice. It should be mandatory. You know?
Oh, I agree. It was by far the best. Yeah, but you're a Yankees fan, dude. I think it was Doug Stan. I think Doug Stan. Yeah, I mean, if you're from the Bronx, I get it, but I think Stanhope had the best Yankees joke where he's like, to root for the Yankees, that's like going to a casino and rooting for the dealer. Like, like they're supposed to win. Yeah, like they're supposed to win.
Fucking sucked for the past. I don't even like.
Shut up! Shut up! No, stop it. They're fucking. They got the big payroll. It's so fun. Stop it. It's not.
I know.
It's same being from Ohio, being an Ohio State fan for football. That people, it's let them. Who cares? They're.
You know what I love about Ohio and those Midwest states is you guys actually give a fuck about high school and college wrestling. Like it's the only place in the country where people actually give a flying fuck. Like Ohio.
Because it's called Glory Days. It's called Glory Days, Nick Simmons. Glory Days. I'm seeing Springsteen Thursday. In the middle of a young girl's heart, Glory Days. Glory Days.
Funny, I was in OKC doing a show, and when I talked about that I did wrestling, I got an applause break just saying I wrestled. And I'm like, this is in New York. You
weren't any good, man. I'll tell you right now, you weren't good because your ears look normal. If you were fucking good,
I wanted to be able to get fucked. I want a girl to still want to fuck.
Yeah, no, dude. If you were any good, your ears would look like shit right now.
I have had to use the needle in my ear when I first started getting, because I would do off-season tournaments and my ear would start to blow up. That's why it was so easy for me to do gauges. My ears are all fucked up because I used to have ear gauges before I did comedy. Just because my ears have always been so elasticy from draining the little bit of water.
Oh, you did that thing with those stupid hoops in the middle of your fucking ear?
Yeah. I know
dude.
it's so cringe.
God,
I've done so
yeah.
many cringe things in my childhood that I look back and I'm like, why did I that wearing
Ah,
Ed Hardy shirts, and I used to have the Paulie D.
ah.
I have that joke about how I had the Paulie D blowout haircut in high school. It's I look at those
Why would you
pictures and
do
I
that, man?
fucking cringe.
I played basketball. I didn't want any hairspray or gel in my hair because I got acne like it was not. I got acne so easily, dude. I was on medication for acne. I'd wear Retin-A.
Yeah.
I'd have Retin-A, and then I'd sweat on my basketballs, and like I was the only one where my jersey would bleach because there was so much Retin-A with me. And people are like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "My mom doesn't know how to do laundry."
Well, it's because you're Italian. I'm half Italian, so I'm oily just like you. So I broke out hard, and I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm still.
And you
putting
still
this
put that shit in
glue
your
in my
hair?
hair. It was
Nah,
like
dude,
glue,
that
so I
shit would
could
go
walk
in
through
your
a fucking
face.
hurricane.
No, if I put gel in my hair, I would get pimples all on my forehead because the gel would like the gel and sweat would like just collide on my forehead. And
You're
I just,
Italian, you would have gotten it anyway.
I got so much fucking, yeah. Templated catalytic converters. Would Nick win in a fight against Stuttering John? They want you to fight Stuttering John. Are you in? You don't even know who that is, do you?
From Howard Stern?
Yeah, he wants to fight you. You in?
I'm pretty sure I could take him. I think that would draw some numbers.
Yeah. No.
Like the influencer fights.
Yes, he always wants to box people. He's trying to box Bob Levy. He's trying to box Shuley. He did one fight against some guy that died like 8 years ago, the cabbie that I guess was on Howard Stern. So yes, he's always saying it's yes.
I've been boxing for like the past year. I only have a year of experience of actual boxing, and
I think you could take Stuttering John. Not that there's going to be any fight, but Stuttering John's doing this thing now. And again, I have nothing against Stuttering John. He goes at a lot of streamers, if you will, likes to rebel rouse, if you will. But he was on this tour. I don't know if he's still on a tour, but he's driving around the country, showing up to people's houses and then yelling at their houses when they're not home. Just showing up at people's houses and being like, "You better not come out of there. You better."
Not training, right?
No, dude, I'm not fighting anybody. I told this story before. I was in like one real fight in my 20s, and I didn't get punched. I think the guy punched me, but nothing too. It was like a bunch of people's in a basketball game, and but I was throwing punches, and I ended up going to urgent care because I fucking fucked up my shoulders throwing punches.
You hurt yourself throwing a punch?
I hurt myself, both my shoulders, just like throwing punches. So I put myself in the fucking hospital.
You're a lover, not a fighter. There you go.
Yeah, I'm Carlos Danger. Ray, don't tell that you toured with Vince Champ. I guess Vince Champ, Carlos Danger, I guess he's trying to make a joke. I guess he was a comic that would do colleges in sexually.
Wait, is he the dude that the girls, the colleges?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's Vince Champ.
You know, I remember that. I grew up in New York, and as a kid, my dad, when he would be taking me to school, we'd be listening to Opie and Anthony on the way. And I remember, like, because even to this day, I'll still listen to old Opie and Anthony. So I'm like, that's definitely like a regular thing. That's why that shit just fucking popped into my head out of nowhere. Holy shit.
Vince Champ? No, I've never met Vince Champ. I don't know who that guy is. All I know is apparently Vince Champ is Carlos Danger's hero. You see how my picture, I have posters of Michael Jordan when I was a kid. Carlos Danger had posters of Vince Champ. That's why he's bringing this up. He had posters of Vince Champ all over his house. So that's a Carlos Danger thing. That's not a me thing. That's
how far did you make it in basketball?
I played in high school. Allegedly there's some colleges I could have walked onto Division III, but would I ever seen the floor? Who knows? I didn't play much in high school either. My friend was I don't want to say his name, but he played at Tri-C with Ben Wallace when Ben Wallace was at Tri-C. Yeah. And Ben Wallace was from Alabama, so his nickname was the Alabama Slammer. when he's
he's a
at
monster.
Tri-State, and then he went to like Mount Union or whatever. But yeah, I knew Ben Wallace. I played pickup games with Ben Wallace back in the day. But my buddy was great. He's still one of my best friends to this day. He lives in DC now, but I was behind him, and so I wasn't going to take his spot. And we're the same age.
I actually played 3-on-3 against Marquette, their basketball team, because me, Callan, and this other comedian, and he was a D3 basketball player. We went there because we were doing the show where we would go to each city and like do something fun in that city. So we played 3-on-3 against Marquette's basketball team. And they were all 6. I think the shortest one on the 3v3 was 6'5", but the other one was 7-footer. And like to actually play against someone that good is fucking like the way that you would think like you watch the game on TV and you're like, oh, I could like defend them a little bit. Fucking no. I got dunked on. The dude landed with his ball sack as he dunked on Brian's head. And I'm like, oh my God. And I would just stay away from the hoop just because I was so scared that I'd end up with a giant ball sack on my forehead.
Well, how often do you play basketball? It depends on how much. Like I'll play with.
Not often.
Oh, you never play. Okay.
No business in there. Yeah, I'm a wrestler. I have no business on a basketball court.
Also wrestling's the same time is also wrestling and basketball is the same seasons. So anyone that's into wrestling, also like your body's.
Like, it wasn't like a 5'8", like, oh well, it's either basketball or wrestling. It was like we got to go with the sport we're built for.
Earl Boykins, I had to guard him in high school, and he was 5'8", ended up being the 6th man of the year for the Denver Nuggets. Speaking of the Denver Nuggets, I played against. I would play with Calvin Booth, who's now the general manager of the Denver Nuggets and won the title last year. I played at Penn State when I was in college, and we'd play pickup games together at the Omni in Cleveland, Ohio. I played against. I was on the same team as R. Kelly for an entire afternoon, and then my one of my best friends tried to fight R. Kelly. Tried to get a fist fight with, and R. Kelly had his boys with him. So my buddy. No, but here's what's also weird. This is before like all that allegation stuff and all that stuff happened. So this like late 90s. And I do remember that there were some girls that were like with his entourage, that there were 3 girls that were maybe teenage girls, definitely around 18, maybe, I don't know their age, but they didn't talk to anyone. But not only that, what was weird is they sat not with each other. Like if you're like a 17-year-old kid and wouldn't you hang out with the other 17-year-old kids? It's weird that like they sat in different areas of like where the people not playing basketball would sit. Like I want to say the stands, but like they have like the side area. And they didn't sit near each other, which I thought was
pre-allegation.
This is before all that, which I thought was weird that like, why are they not like hanging out with each other? Why are they like all spread out amongst each other? Just looking back at that in hindsight, I was like, I didn't like R. Kelly, by the way. I played on the same team as him. I guess he played semi-pro basketball. So he might have been playing semi-pro at the time, but he had 2 buddies with him that were really good at basketball. And they literally just grab rebounds, dribble the ball out and give it to R. Kelly to shoot. I was on R. Kelly's team. They didn't give me the ball. And one of the games,
funny thing of R. Kelly just fucking destroying people in basketball.
He didn't like mix it. He didn't take the ball to the hole. It was just like, and he had a decent shot but I mean, he was like arrogant for no reason. It's like, dude, you got your 2 buddies here that I assume also played semi-pro.
You get to playing with 16-year-olds, you know. So by the time,
on the court, everyone on the court was an adult, but I just thought that was weird. And the whole reason why he even ended up there is a buddy of mine, Joe, who did security for the OJs. It's one of the OJs. Eric Grant would come and play basketball there, and Eric Grant is like the other one is like Walt Williams and Eddie Levert, and they're like old guys. They were old even back then, but Eric was just like 10 years older than me, and he would play basketball. And the guy Joe, who's like one of their security guards, brought R. Kelly and his friends to the Omni to play basketball that day. So that's why they were there. So when my buddy tried to start a fight with R. Kelly, it was like it put Joe in a weird spot because he's like, "What the fuck you doing?" Yeah. So. Yeah, my buddy would have got beat. I'm not saying would have got beat up by R. Kelly, but he would have got beat up by. So that they were having no part of that.
beat up by a pedophile. Like if that would just be something you just don't want to ever have to live with.
Well, I don't think R. Kelly would actually have done any of the fighting. His two guys kind of took care of my buddy and like threw him up against a wall and like threatened to beat him up. So I wasn't even going to get to R. Kelly. And then that's my friend. But what am I going to do? I'm not getting in the middle of this.
Yeah. Like,
I don't want to throw out my shoulders. I can't throw out my shoulders.
Have you seen those videos on? They're going viral on X all the time. There's like this group of dudes that chase pedophiles, but they're not.
I saw that.
They don't call the cops. They beat the shit out of the actual pedophile.
Right.
And they slap the shit out of them. And then one recently actually got the better of one of them. And I'm like, I would not post a video of me getting beat up by a short, fat pedophile. That is just. After that, it's like, how do you show your face in public? Like, you try to defend this kid's honor, and you also got the shit kicked out of you too. Like, that's embarrassing.
Well, also, I saw those videos. If those are real, which I don't know, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're real. Why are they not calling the fucking authorities? What is with this digital Andy shit? Like,
hear me out. Here's why I think that they're real. I don't think there's anybody in their right mind that would be an actor that'd go, you know what? I'll play a pedophile in this thing that I'm not going to get on my IMDb. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, all right.
There's no amount of money that anyone could. You couldn't offer me for $1 million. Would you actually play a slapped up pedophile on TikTok or?
Yeah, but also like, what if they're just going up to dudes and just doing that? I'm assuming that's not it. You know what I mean? What's stopping them from just going up to any person?
I mean, usually they have like the picture of the dude and they're like,
okay. So as long as they actually are guilty of doing that, then those videos are great. But if they're just going up to people and just being like,
because your acting career would have to be in such a bad place to go, this is the role I'm going to take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking a herpes ad. It's like you're finished as an actor.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I did see those, and I just hope that they're legit and not just like going around terrorizing people. Yeah, because
that'd be so fucked up, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Beat up pedophile.
One furious F. Ray, cauliflower ears equal good fighting. Beavers look at you and don't think you're a good lumberjack. Jesus, one furious F. Come on, man.
I like these people.
Come on, one furious F. He's a good egg. We root for one furious F. Yeah. So, what's up?
Your fans really love you, huh?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. No.
I like
it.
I noticed the teeth until you said it.
Yeah, this guy doesn't. Peter Sky Parker. He loves me 1 minute and hates me the next. He was my agent for a minute. Oh, yeah. Peter Sky Parker. Come on, man.
What did he ask?
Yeah, we were friends in Vegas. Every time I hang out with them, we're good times. We have good times, me and Peter Sky Parker. Ray should get his ad noise removed. It would make his voice less annoying. Come on, man. Jeez.
I had that offered to me as a child because I used to get fucking all these like sinus infections, and they told my mom
I get them too.
If we remove his adenoids, he wouldn't get them as much. But then when she found out the side effect is a high pitched voice, I was like, nah, I'd rather get a fucking sinus effect. I don't have a deep enough voice to be throwing octaves down the drain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a high pitched voice. People used to say when I was younger, I sounded like Mickey Mouse. Neither
of us have any octave to sacrifice. Neither of us could sacrifice any of us. We need every octave we got.
And I have a shitty voice. Okay, I know I don't have a good singing voice. That's it's been well documented.
Singing is horrible. I sing horrendous. Like I'd rather perform. I performed on shows where I had to be shirtless, and that is less embarrassing than the idea of singing in front of anybody, even if it's my loved ones. If I sang, I'd never. That's my biggest fear in the world. Karaoke, fucking get the fuck out of here.
I'm fine with karaoke. I know it's supposed to sound bad. I took my shirt off on stream for $75 the other day. I don't give a shit. You give me $75, I'll take it off. I don't give a damn.
Someone offer it. Someone do it.
David Chandler did it, and I was like, hell yeah, for David Chandler.
They wanted to
I'll
see
do it. Fuck yeah, it is sick. It's definitely sick. It definitely looks sick. That's for sure. We look like the before and after picture. You and I. Yes.
For sure.
And by the way, some people. So yesterday, there's a guy, Party Boy, who was my intern for a little bit there. He's on the list, the donor list for a kidney. And I said on the stream yesterday that if for some reason I'm able to donate a kidney to him. Now I wouldn't donate a kidney to just anyone, but
if it your kidney.
Well, no, I mean, he might not have a choice. I think he's just looking for, and some people said to maybe I should not bring that up on air. This is what I will say. I talked to Party Boy. I'm not saying his real name. I talked to Party. This sounds weird. I talked to Party Boy. You're the guy doing Molly. Yeah. And he's going to put out a website to let people know how they can tell if they're a match for someone to, because he's on the list. He does need a kidney. So if we can help him in any way, and like I said, I don't mind. I don't know. I will keep them posted. I'll keep the listeners posted as Party Boy wants me to keep you guys posted. But no, he did put out a tweet the other day just mentioning that. And I do like the guy. So I am concerned for the guy. When he first told me about his ailments a while ago, he was doing streams with me. And I was hoping he was joking. I hope he was like just like a work, as I call it. Yeah. And then sadly, it's not a work. So yeah. So wishing him the best. But yeah, when the website is ready to share, I will share that with everybody. Big W, who's a good egg. I played ball against Mr. Belvedere. He had to be rushed to the ER because he sat on the bench and his left ball got squashed. He got squashed.
Like I'm missing an inside. Who's Mr. Belvedere?
Oh, you're young. It was a show in the 90s. Bob Euchre was on the show. It was a sitcom. He had a fan. For some reason, he was their British housekeeper.
I'm thinking is Fresh Prince. All I'm getting is Fresh Prince.
No, it is weird that so many people had housekeepers on sitcoms in the 90s. Like, I don't know.
The economy was good back then.
Yeah. This is Mr. Belvedere. Yeah, it was on in the 90s. 5 seasons. I'm trying to just get a picture. Why won't it let me just get a picture?
I'm guessing British.
Oh, man. Currently not available. I'm just trying to get a picture. I'm clicking on the picture. I click on the picture, and then it won't let me do it.
You know what sucks for this guy? And I'm going to, a little tangent real quick. When someone has to actually look up, when you tell a joke and people go, who, what? And they don't get the reference, it hurts the soul so much. And that actually I've gone through.
No, you can't hurt Big W soul.
Well, I remember my ex is from South America, and every time her family would be over, people who don't completely understand English will not get American humor at all. And the amount of times I've bombed in an attempted joke in front of her family, and then I had to just act like it was just a serious thing that I said, and I had to just stick with that. The amount of times, embarrassing. And I
have to do that.
I'm fucking bombing with your family right now.
That happens to me on. There's Mr. Belvedere. That was the TV show.
Oh, I've never seen it, but I've definitely seen the picture of the dude before. I've definitely seen that family.
And then it turned out later, not that it's a big deal, but it was also like you almost couldn't say you were gay back then. But yeah, it turns out he came out 10 years after the show and admitted he's gay. And also there was a very funny sketch on SNL when Tom Hanks hosted it. Tom Hanks hosted SNL, the Mr. Belvedere sketches when Chris Farley, Mike Myers, Adam Sandler era. But they do a thing like the proper way to act when you meet Mr. Belvedere is a Mr. Belvedere support group. And they're like, I should thank Mr. Belvedere for doing a great television show. And I shouldn't hug him too hard. And like, yeah, you shouldn't really hug him at all. I shouldn't want to put him in a jar and keep it. It's weird. It's a sketch you can watch on YouTube. It's Tom Hanks, so it's great. Chris Farley's great in it, and but it's all like how to act.
If you gave me flashbacks, that was one of those PTSD moments right there. The amount of times over 6 years of meeting family members in Brazil or Argentina, where I would try and make a joke and it would just get fucking silence.
Yeah.
That's the fucking worst. That when you have to sit in a. It's one thing to bomb on stage, but to bomb in conversation hurts so much worse, because now you're like, oh, I'm here, and I have to just defend that as this is my point of view now. You know.
What's an example of a joke? Let's say, can you?
I can't think of any.
I can't think off the top of the.
No, because her best friend has been here, like in Miami, and she stayed at her house for a couple weeks. And the amount of times I tried to just in conversation just throw a joke, and she would just look at me like, what are you talking about? And I'd have to just be like, oh, like you would just make a joke, and then you just be like, all right, now I have to be very serious about this, and I have to just go with this now because this is my new take, because I have to go with it now. It would just be hurting every time. And I'd always go to my girl like,
is that why she broke up with you? Is that why she kicked you out? She's like, get out of here. You fucking take those shitty jokes to New York City. But I do know Brazilian people. I know Brazilian people don't really get our sense of humor, because I live in I'm in Astoria. I've always lived in Astoria when I lived in New York City, Brazilian neighborhood. So a lot of my friends are Brazilian. And yeah, conversationally, like they just don't, it's different.
They bust balls. They definitely bust balls, because her dad.
But it's it's different.
He got me good, because I tried to learn on Duolingo how to speak Portuguese, and like I have a whole thing about it, because like the only thing I was able.
Well, they speak both. They speak a mixture of Portugal and Spanish, right? I thought it's Portuguese and Spanish.
They don't speak Spanish. No, I tried speaking Spanish. I mean, they had no idea what the fuck I was saying.
You could speak Spanish?
Un poquito. I mean, like
un poquito, me too. Usted. Okay.
I grew up in the Bronx and working in delis, so I know deli Spanish, at least. And I remember when I met her dad, this is a true story. I learned the words "I'm a boy" and the phrase "I drink milk," and my girl wanted me to like just kind of like show him that I'm trying. And I said that, and he's from Rio, and he's like, no, he's like, in Rio we don't say menino for boy, we say viado. So he had me saying viado instead, and I would like say that to people, and it actually means homosexual. So I was
there you go.
Saying I'm a homosexual that drinks milk everywhere I went, and my girl just kind of just let the joke just keep on going until like the end of the trip, where I was like, she's like, you've been saying you're gay everywhere, right? And I'm like,
Viviado. That's the name of this episode. Call this episode Viviado.
Viado, yeah.
Viado in Portuguese. Yep. All right, that's the name of the episode. Viado.
Yeah, I said it to her grandparents, and they started laughing, and they didn't know. They couldn't tell me anything. They couldn't tell me what I was actually saying. They just laughed at me, and I went, "Oh, they think it's cute that I'm fucking."
You think you're scoring points?
Mm-hmm. So I was just calling myself a homo everywhere I went.
Yeah, I mean, I call myself a homo all the time. I wish I was gay. I say this all the time to my listeners. Buddy. I wish I was gay, dude. My life would be so much easier.
That's how I know it's not a choice, because it would have been a much easier decision.
Yeah, life would be so much easier if I was gay. I'd dress better. I'd be in better shape.
The amount of gay people that come out to my shows and slide in my DMs and just walking through New York City, I'm like, dude, this life would be fucking great. I'd be
sign me up.
Yeah, man. Like I used to walk through Hell's Kitchen at nighttime after LOL to get to the train, and I felt like a white girl in a bad neighborhood. Like I had to run to that train station.
Dude, LOL, man. Fuck that place, dude.
That's where I started.
Oh man, so you know how they used to, because they were like by Caroline's, so they would always like promote who's ever on Caroline's. Like, so who's ever on the lineup at Caroline's, whoever's posters are outside, who's on a poster, they would say that's who's there. So I never got it. It's that Jasmine chick or whatever. And so they're promoting me on the street. Come tonight, see Ray DeVito. Like, I'm one of the comics. I'm like, Ray DeVito's at. I was like, fuck yeah, this is my chance. I don't care. Stage time is stage time. Let's fucking do it. So I get up there and like, and that Jasmine chick, I'm like, is Ray DeVito on the show? I said, yeah, Ray, we got Ray DeVito. I was like, awesome. This is fantastic. I'm ready to. I'm ready to. It's perfect. I'm in.
Yeah.
And she's like, anyways, the ticket's $40, 2-drink minimum. I'm like, I'm Ray DeVito. I'm like showing her, because I took a picture of the Carol. I'm like, that's me. This is me. And she,
Yeah.
I go, the green room's over there. She wouldn't let me go in the. I'm like, just go in the green room. They will tell you that that's me because Gene Marco was in there, and I'm like, that's me. I'm here.
Yeah.
You're promoting me on this show. She wanted nothing to do with it. She's like, and I was like, this is
on
just
the street
dumb.
were so hit or miss because what I still have to do is I'd love to walk up because when they had the actual roster on there and my name was on the roster, I asked who's on the show and they'd show me and they'd be like, oh, this guy, and they'd lie about credits like this guy's on Comedy Central, this guy's on VH1. I'd always ask about point at my name, be like, how about that guy? And they would make up awesome credits for me, like you've seen him on Netflix, HBO, and I'm like, yeah, that's dope. And then one time I asked the guy, I'm like, because he's doing all these names, I'm like, how about that dude right there? And I point to my name, he goes, he kind of sucks, but the rest of these guys
yeah,
are fucking awesome. And I'm like,
fuck yeah.
why would you do that to me?
Hell yeah. But no, I just remember that because like
fucking promote Burr all the time, and like Bill Burr is going to be up there, like because they would just.
And then he stopped in there. That's
And yeah, they would always promote like they'd be like, "Who's your favorite comedian?" They'd be like, "Oh, Bill Burr." Like it's crazy, Bill Burr's up there. And then the one time he showed up,
the one time he went there, and there was Jasmine. Someone said that's what cost her job is not knowing who Bill Burr was. But
probably.
Yeah, my only time hanging out with Bill Burr, and he talked to me for like 15 minutes because nobody else was there yet, and it was the night of Patrice's benefit last year. Just happened to be also my night that we had our show at the Stand, and it was also my album release party. So we were the only show at the Stand that night. Then it's my album release party, and then afterwards was the after party for Patrice O'Neal's benefit. So Bill Burr and Club Soda Kenny were like the first people there, and I was talking to Burr for like 15, and he was actually talking to me. He was just like bitching about Caroline shutting down and going over all the things they did wrong at Caroline's. And but it was cool. It's one of those things like I'm having a conversation with Burr, who obviously I look up to, but at the same time, you're like, all right, let me step away before he gets sick of me. Like, let me step away. Like, you don't know, like, all right, am I wearing out my welcome? There's no way I'm this interesting to this guy. I'm just gonna.
First time I met him, I was in Los Angeles at a show, and it was me, him, Anthony Jeselnik, Mark Normand, and Brett Ernst were on the lineup. And he talked to me, and it was like I was like, oh shit, he's talking. And I did the same thing where I went, time to skedaddle before.
Yeah. I'm like kind of like leaning away. Not that I'm like I'm like listen, dude, this is my so-called album release party. I will hang out with you as long as you want to talk to me. But at the same time, I'm like, I got to be boring this dude. There's no way this dude is that interested in anything I'm saying. But he was just venting about Caroline's. Like he was saying like all the things they did wrong that they could have done to prevent having to shut down. I think it was Baum because that it shut down because I think he really liked Caroline's. But at the same time, like,
oh well, honestly, that's the only place you ever had to fist fight actual audience members. Like that's the only place where I've ever had to brawl against audience.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember the one time because it was Jasmine. She was giving some kid shit or something like that. This dude from the Bronx, hood dude, and he like she was just being kind of like she's being a bitch. And
she was a bitch every time. I met her twice, and once I tried to get in on my own, just like introduce myself, and she wanted no part of that. And then the second time was when they were promoting me on the street. So I'm like, oh, this is my in. This is my in. Like they're literally promoting me.
She's giving that guy shit, and he spits at her. And then that's when one comic starts going at that dude. They start going at it, and then his friends jump in. So we jump in, me and two other comics. So it's three of us comics and a bunch of their friends. And we're fighting all the way down. Remember that huge stairwell that you had to go?
Yeah.
We're fighting in the stairwell, and the security guard got scared, closed the door, locked it on us, and said, someone call the police. There's a problem in the. So we were locked in that staircase, and we had to fight our way down the stairs. I fucking pushed this fucking huge dude down the stairs. And the best part, and I'll never forget this, I pushed him and he got up and like brushed himself off, and he goes, "You were my favorite comic on the lineup." And I was like, fuck, my first fan. I pushed him down a fucking staircase. And then he comes out there and she literally did a Superman punch and fucking hit one of the other dudes down the stairs. And then that's when we heard the cops come. We were like, let's get the fuck, we fucking boogied. We got the fuck out of there. So I'm like, I am not getting in trouble for this comedy club. Not happening.
Oh yeah. So do you get in fights a lot? Like I said, I don't fight at all, dude.
I mean, I was a bouncer after high school.
You look like a
because I was
bouncer.
it was an easy, but I was also the first person to. I've always been good at talking to people, so even when someone was starting trouble, like it was, I never was that bouncer that just put him in a headlock. I mean, if I had to, like things were going crazy, I'd grab someone up. I'm a wrestler, so I could grab someone easy, not throwing punches. But I was easily able to just talk to people and be like, "What are we doing here?" You know what I mean? Like, are we really going to fight over this situation at a nightclub? And usually, if you talk to someone with reason, which most bouncers never do, which is why I
Right,
knew I had
right.
no business being a bouncer, they'll go, you're right. And I'm like, you could just go home and not get arrested and then not be in the situation that's stupid. And they'd go, yeah, all right, I'll leave. 99% of the time, they would just be like, yeah, that is a very valid point. But, there's always that 1% that will fucking, as soon as you start talking, throw a punch at you, which happened to me one time. And I can't get into details. There was a whole case about it. But the dude, I had to take the dude down because he sucker punched me. And then I took him down. He bit my arm. And then his girl jumped on another bouncer's back and cut his throat. It was fucking. That was my last day because I'm like, all right, this is a good reason. This is not worth $200 a night. Time to go. I had my run. It's over. Yeah, and I don't like seeing open wounds, so I'm like, I get it. This is not worth it.
Oh,
Some people you just can't talk to.
Tigger, Nick, Ray has given a felon scumbag hundreds of dollars. I have. Apparently, I have. I've given a felon scumbag hundreds of dollars, but hasn't given his former intern Penny Boy a penny for his medical bills. Not cool, right? Tigger, if I can help, I'll reach out to Party Boy and see whatever we can do to. Jesus.
If you do a GoFundMe, I'll throw something towards it too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to Party Boy. We'll see what can be done to. Yeah, his situation and anything to help the guy, because everybody here in this community, they hate me, but they like him. So let's do it for him.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it for Party Boy. HEE. Did you know ban from Planet Fitness for messing?
I've
said,
kicked out of Planet Fitness as well.
They're not all fans of mine. That would be that guy with the supermarket. Come on, supermarket guy. Mr. Supermarket. We'll call him Mr. Supermarket.
Are you a Planet Fitness goer?
Yeah, I'll frequent a Planet Fitness. You know why? The thing that I liked about Planet Fitness when I was going to Planet Fitness is they're in every city.
That's why I have a Crunch membership. That's fair.
Yeah, because they're in every city. So that's why they always work out.
On that. I do not respect Planet Fitness at all.
But no, otherwise, as for a gym, they don't offer that much. There's not free weights.
The judgment-free zone, unless you look like me, then they're like, fuck that guy. Let's make a commercial about bodybuilding. Like, I hate that. Their business model is fuck.
Let's shame let's shame the people that actually care about exercising.
And it's like a restaurant that doesn't let fat people in it. It's like, what's the game plan here?
Yeah. Well, I do get what it is, because it's like a lot of like soccer moms that want to just walk on the treadmill and look at their phone. They're not actually, like, when I would run on a treadmill at Planet, I'm literally the only one that would actually run on a treadmill. No one else is actually running on the treadmill. Everyone else is watching Family Feud on the TV while I'm
they're smart, because what they actually do is they target people who are not gym people to sign up for their gym for a low cost, and it's hard to get out of their actual contract. So what they do is they know, let's target all these people who we can get that are not going to actually come to the gym. So they could just keep on getting more and more people to sign up. It's so hard to get out of the contract. So they don't even have to do upkeep on the machines, because no one's actually fucking using them. Like, the amount of people that are Planet Fitness members that don't actually go to the gym is astounding. Like, so it's amazing. It's a good game plan, in all fairness. I give them credit, because they're like, we don't want these bodybuilders who are actually going to use these weights. Let's have all these people who will never touch them, and then we don't have to do anything on top of it.
Yeah, no, that is true. Like, a lot of people go there and don't actually where a lot of people go just for the tanning beds.
I used to go for pizza sometimes back in the day, because they would have pizza night when I was first starting comedy, I had a Planet Fitness membership just so I could hit the pizza night. They
Really?
would do it first Monday of the month. All the free pizza you could eat.
Wow.
Bagel Tuesdays.
I
which is
never.
A gym giving pizza is fucking. That's how you know it's a good gym for sure.
And they probably had a deal with them too. This Mr. Supermarket race uncle tried to come on, Mr. Supermarket. What are we doing? Nick, relax. Only 20 people are watching.
Imagine I just let my breath out and I
thank
fucking
you.
drunk.
Tampaletic catalytic converters. Nick, do you steal towels from the gym like Ray? Now, here's what I will say. Go ahead. You can answer that, but then I will say my thing.
Not gyms, hotels. When I'm on the road, if I'm at a hotel, every once in a while, I'll snag one. I won't do pillows because that's how they get you. But fuck it. What are they going to notice? A fucking towel?
They want you to take the towels.
Exactly. Yeah.
They want-
I won't
Gooch-
take. I have like a whole stack of fucking blankets. Actually, you could see some of them right there.
There you go, man.
Hotel towels I've taken. There's evidence that they want to get me in a crime.
Everyone knows I have a pink blanket. There it is. But did Gooch tell you the story? Like,
wait,
no. This is this was my niece's like many years ago. No, we did a corporate show in the afternoon, and then I was doing Souljo's at night, and I got a hotel room with 2 beds, and thank God we didn't leave any of our stuff in the room, but we went to Souljo's to do the show, and then we came back, and Gooch went to the room, and they gave our room to somebody else. So there's someone sleeping. No, thank God we didn't put our stuff in the room. Although if we would have put our stuff in the room, maybe they would have came in, saw our stuff, and then hopefully they would have went back and like, yeah, someone's already in that room. But no, and then the lady was giving us attitude. She's like, I didn't do it. I was like, you're the only one here. There's not 2 front desks. You clearly. Yeah.
I've been to some like before when I was just going tour on my own, like some of the sketchiest fucking hotel rooms. Like it's crazy. Some of the ones you think that are going to be nice. I remember one time walking into one in Tennessee where the dude, as soon as I got in, this homeless dude had his dick out and just started pissing all over the place. And I'm like, oh, this is no wonder why this was $70 a night. And it was like, I walked in the room, similar situation. I walk in and there was this morbidly obese person sitting on the bed and they're like, the room's taken. And I was like, I go back down and I'm like, okay. And I remember I had one in New Mexico where I knew it was going to be a problem because as soon as we got there, I heard like at least 100 dogs barking and no lady at the counter. And she comes out of the back room and she goes, sorry, we also watch dogs here too. And I'm like, I need to get funnier and I need to get in better hotels. This is a sad place to be.
I had one in St. Louis. This is St. Louis. I want to say St. Louis or Kansas City. I forget. I talked about it before, but I was there for a couple nights, and the first night I'm there, like dogs are barking all night. Dogs are, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? There's just like just a dog barking somewhere in the hotel. It's moving around the hotel, but I just hear like dogs barking. So I asked the lady the next day. I'm like, do you have an area of the hotel? Because there's like a couple strips of it where there's no dogs. And she's like, no dogs are allowed to stay here. I was like, there's dogs barking all night. She goes, yeah, those are police dogs. So
shit.
So there was like, and it was at a few different places. So it wasn't just a drug bust here at this side and at this one room. There was multiple drug busts in the hotel, multiple rooms that were getting raided for drugs. So that means someone who had drugs in their hotel room would hear a police dog go off on someone else that's also in the hotel. Instead of thinking, hey, we should get our drugs, put them in the car and leave this hotel so we don't get also drug busted. They were like, fuck that. This dog's not.
We got a good deal on these rooms.
Yeah, that dog's going to have to bust us too. And then the dog would come and bust them. So it was like weird as shit that the dog was. Who's
I've gotten
doing that?
catfished
If
by
you
some hotels before, like legit, because dude, on hotels.com, like it'll look they put pictures up where it looks beautiful, and they fucking get me every time. Like I was with John Carden, a comic from Austin, and we were doing a gig in Dallas, and I went to his house, and he's like, "Did you get the rooms yet?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna order them now." And he goes, no Motel 6. That's all I asked. No Motel 6. And I'm like, bet, I got you. And then I found a place that said Suite 6 on there. And I'm like, okay, this place says Suites. And he goes, it's not a Motel 6, right? And I'm like, no, it literally says Suites. I'm like, it's obviously a nice hotel. We get there. It's a Motel 6 sign that just says Suites under. I'm like, they fucking got me again.
Yeah. I don't hate Motel 6. People like this shit on Motel 6. I don't mind it. It's a room with Wi-Fi.
And the murder,
something about a room. If you have Wi-Fi, no, I never. If you have Wi-Fi and a shower, for the most part, it's not the end of the world for me. A bed, a shower, and Wi-Fi.
This was
it's a crime scene. Oh, it was. Oh,
the one we stayed at, there was like a man's shoe right outside of our door. There was broken glass. Like as soon as we got there, I'm like, okay, they got me again. They got me again.
Yeah, I'm more like I will go Motel 6 over a hotel that's not a chain. Days Inn are the worst because Days Inn could be the nicest thing in the world, or it could be like just a random room that says Days Inn. Like anyone, it could be someone's house and it just says Days Inn. Anything could be a Days Inn. But Motel 6, at least there's a little standard etiquette, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I don't mind.
I think Days Inn was the dog hotel that I stayed at. The part-time dog hotel with Mexicans barbecuing outside and then hookers walking around. That was definitely.
By the way, I like it when they're barbecuing outside. That means it's safe. That's like security. I don't mind that. When people are like hanging out, like they're living at the hotel for the week, I like that. Like, and they got like, you know how like sometimes families live in those rooms? I like that. That means it's going to be all right.
I forgot the name of it. There's another one that you just reminded me of. It's called like an extended stay, and I didn't know what it was until I got there. And I'm like, oh shit, they got like refrigerators, they got a kitchen, and then I realized, oh, I'm at like a homeless person's like part-time apartment.
Man,
that was disgusting. Like the smell in the hallways just smelled like it just smelled like just piss, and I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. But this is all I can afford at this point. Like now, I'm starting to get. I think Airbnb is the way to go on the road. You have to get Airbnb.
That's right. And by the way, Tampa converters, I never stole towels from the gym. This is when I was at New York Sports Club. By the way, they don't have towels anymore. Like COVID ruined that. Like now there's no more towels. But what I would do is I would use it as a towel service. Like I would take a towel, but then I would bring it back when I was done with it. No, that's what I'm saying. I would throw it in their dirty hamper. So I would have a towel from New York Sports Club and I would use it at home. And then when I would go back to New York Sports Club, I would throw it in their dirty laundry thing. So I would do that. Did you
go to the one in Astoria?
Yeah.
So I used to go, when I first moved in with my ex, we lived right around the corner on 33rd Street.
Okay.
And I used to go to that one, and that gym.
Post-pandemic? Post-pandemic?
Pre-pandemic.
Okay, like so you remember they had towel service.
Yeah, and they didn't have one dumbbell that matched another. Like every dumbbell was a different size. One was like a fat handle, small handle, never in the same. It was
really, like I don't remember it being like that.
Fucking hurricane hit. It was. Like
I love that gym, dude.
Here and over here, and then there was like 50 here. Like I don't know who racked those weights, but it was a nightmare every time you go. If you get past 60 pounds, nightmare every time.
Really, I actually like that gym a lot. That was one of my all-time favorite gyms.
Yeah,
I like them. Yeah. In fact, sometimes I go by there just to see like who's working there. If it's only one guy that's still there that was working there then, but just say hello. Like, I became friends with a lot of people there. I belonged there for like 10 years.
Did you work out with the Gooch there?
No, that's before he. That's before he started like going there. But yeah, I would run on the Stairmaster I use are no longer there. And the treadmills, I'm very particular with my treadmills because some treadmills are like on a slight incline and that kind of like messes up my joints a little bit. So I need them literally just flat, and I need them fluid. I can't have them like jerky.
You need to get on peptides, man. For your knees, you need that shit.
Yeah. All right. I will definitely do that. Mr. Super Mario, Brennan was sniping you, but this is too boring. We're going to go to 4. We're going to get off and then send everyone over to MLC. Everyone can watch MLC. We're in the 9-minute stretch, I tell you. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, we're talking about gyms and hotels way too much. Nick, would you say anything else? I don't really know Kevin.
Kevin Brennan, I think it'll be a good time for it. If he has you, sure.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm always down to do anything.
Would you do MLC if Kevin Brennan invites you? He likes to chat with Ray's friends. Yeah, there was a while where I was like his AAA for his podcast. Whoever was on my show would then graduate to, they would graduate to MLC. So, but yeah, Ari Jane's a good lady. We all like Ari Jane, a friend of mine from Akron, Ohio. What else is going on? What else? I was going to talk to you a little bit about the Olympics. So I don't know if we can like play it. I don't want to get my channel in trouble. But yeah, that whole the breakdancing lady from Australia.
The best thing that's ever happened to the Olympics. That will be the most memorable moment of my lifetime in Olympics. That girl is the fucking worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was really. I didn't think
bad.
it was. Now I could
break dance professionally in Australia if that's what they have to offer. That is, she looks like she's doing magic, and then she looks like she's trying to find her phone inside the couch, like underneath the couch. Like that's not even breakdancing. I don't know what. Like when she did the kangaroo, if you find the kangaroo move.
There we go. When she was doing that thing where she's like, I can't play because my. There we go.
Yeah, there's a whole controversy now, man, because they're saying that apparently you could watch the girl that she went up against to get into the Olympics, and the girl was actually like crazy good at breakdancing, and this girl danced exactly like this and somehow made it in. And what they're finding out is the fact that her husband is one of the judges when it comes to who advanced into the Olympics.
So her husband is the breakdancing judge.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because she had no business.
Yeah.
No business. Like
I like how they didn't even give her a point. Like people fall down on the fucking balance beam and they still get points. Like all you have to do on the balance beam is not fall. And the fact that you fall, like even when they do those dives and they end up doing like they just land on their back, they even get a point.
They saw it and they're like, this does not even resemble breakdancing. So we cannot even award you a single point because whatever the fuck you're doing is a tragedy.
And so she was like a professor? Like I heard she was a professor of breakdancing.
Yeah, it's like of urban something. So urban dance or something like that. Like she doesn't actually dance. She's just a teacher at a college in Australia that somehow became the face of breakdancing. Forever. She will be who like there's no other person I'll ever think of when I think breakdancing now I think of Ray Gun. Like that is she's now like you think basketball, you think Michael Jordan, I think breakdancing, I think Ray Gun.
You think 100%. Her, that's kind of like when bobsledding became an Olympic sport and then the Jamaicans tried it. Yeah. Like it even like inspired movies like Cool Runnings. Like, wait, like if you remember, yeah. Well, they were in when they first got in the Olympics, that was a thing. They never had bobsledding. So then Jamaica had a bobsledding team and the bobsled like went upside down. So they all like the whole thing, they didn't realize it was wrong. And they like bobsledded on the top of their heads. So like they're like bobsledding on their heads as they're going, and they didn't realize that's not how you're supposed to do bobsledding. I don't know what year that was, but that's so she might
it had to be forever ago. That movie came out when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I thought that was a made up story.
1988, Jamaican bobsled. Jamaican bobsled, 1988. Yeah, you'll see. They're like bobsledding, and it's them all bobsledding on the top of their heads. Like the bobsled wasn't. I'm trying to find a picture now because I want to find the picture. I'm not gonna be able to find the.
Happens all the time.
Yeah,
Whenever you want to show someone, your phone is like, how about I just embarrass you?
Yeah, like they literally were like sliding down on their head. All right. I don't know if this is the. All right, here we go. At least here's some pictures of it. So this is the Jamaican bobhead, Jamaican bobsled. Yeah. So like, I guess she's in.
Shit.
Yeah.
They got fucked up.
So whatever it was, but yeah, they were like bobsledding upside down for a while, and yeah, I mean it was all over the news, and then it became a movie. It became a John Candy movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
boxing?
Did I watch boxing? Oh, yeah, I feel bad for that one lady. Turns out she was a lady the whole time. She was a lady the whole time, and
she's an unfortunate looking lady. And you know, it's so funny. Some of the shit people said, like, I saw someone post on Twitter. They're like, "How are they going to let someone with a mustache who grow a mustache fight this poor Italian girl?" I'm like, first of all, it's an Italian girl. She could also grow a mustache. You know what I mean?
She could grow a mustache.
She's sparring back at home. You know?
Yes.
And she's just a very unfortunate. That's got to be such a blow to your ego to be that, like, because she's unfortunate looking. Let's be real. But to be like that and just be like, oh, she's definitely trans. Like, you have to have, and then you have to defend yourself. Oh, that's got to be brutal. Like going back home and just being like the face of like trans sports and you're not trans.
It's like when Mike Piazza had held a press conference to say he wasn't gay.
Yeah. Oh shit, I forgot about that.
He had to like literally held. He's like, listen, I'm not gay. Not there's anything wrong with that. I'm not gay. The fact that he had to do that is pretty. Mr. Superman, Ray, Liam called you the R word on MLC. So I'll be okay. I try to get you to fight other people. There's this guy Liam that used to be a comedian in New York City, and now he trolls people on the internet. So
okay,
that's what he does now. Yes. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I wish him the best. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna send everyone over to MLC. Go watch Kevin's stream. Nick, where can people find you? Poughkeepsie 824 at not Nick Simmons on Instagram. What else you got?
Every social media. I got that, and then everything. All my dates I always post on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see all my upcoming shows, and I post clips all the time. So you'll see plenty of stand up and plenty of my upcoming road shows because I'll be all over the place this fall. I'm booking a couple different places right now. So my November is going up as well.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, thanks a lot for coming on. Come back sometime. And thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you punks later. That's our show. Peace.